Question 5. How is the consistency of a UV gel related to its flexibility when it's cured? Well, interesting question. The consistency of a UV gel is determined by the consistency of the ingredients that are used. Now, only low-power UV energy sources are used to cure UV gels. This means that nail lamps emit very low amounts of UV energy, so curing is really not that efficient. That's why it's not possible to properly cure monomer liquids that are used in a two-part system by UV. The so-called acrylic systems will not cure in a reasonable amount of time when using a UV nail lamp. And this is why UV gels aren't based on monomers as their chief ingredient. Instead, UV gels are made chiefly from pre-made short chains of monomers. These pre-made short chains are called oligomers. Mono means one and mer means units. So a monomer is just really one individual molecule, whereas oligo means few. So an oligomer is a short chain of molecules, and that chain can be typically up to 3,000 molecules long. Now, since monomers are individual molecules, they move around more easily and quickly inside their container. Oligomers, they get in the way of each other, and they get temporarily tangled up, which slows them down so they can't move nearly as quickly or as easily as monomers. The result is that oligomers have a tendency to be thicker and stringier, which is why they have a gel-like consistency. Depending on which oligomer is used, the UV gel can be a bit thicker or thinner. Also, the thickness or viscosity can be increased or decreased by the addition of other additives. For instance, titanium dioxide is a white pigment made of solid particles. Adding a sufficient amount of this white pigment can significantly increase the viscosity of an uncured UV gel. So you see, many things can affect the consistency of the gel. The flexibility of a cured UV gel is not determined by the consistency of the uncured gel. They're not related. Flexibility depends on two things: the chemical structure of the oligomers that are used and other ingredients as well. And it also depends on the degree of cure. Undercuring a UV gel makes it more flexible. So you can see why nail technicians are often fooled into thinking their UV gels are properly cured when really they're not. As I said at the beginning of this episode, UV gels harden enough to file when they're only 50 to 55% cured. It's important to note that undercuring makes a UV gel nail coating appear to be more flexible. But the problem is this: undercuring causes nail filings and dust to contain larger amounts of unreacted ingredients, as I mentioned before, which increases the potential for adverse skin reactions such as irritation or allergies. When these nails are soaked off, these ingredients are released into the solvent, and this can lead to allergic skin reaction. Clearly, there's a lot more to know about curing UV gels, properly curing them especially. I've written a free education update on this subject, and it's called The Complexity of UV Gels. It's far more complicated than most realize, but this education update simplifies the subject and makes it easy to understand, and it's something you can share with others, and I wish that you would. I'll include a link to this update at the end of the video. I hope you'll read it, and again, please share this information with others so they can avoid skin damage, irritation, and allergic reactions that are associated with improper curing of UV gels.